In Salford, everybody deserves to feel connected, supported and part of their community. Wellbeing Matters is a VCSE-led social prescribing offer that helps build capacity in the communities of Salford.
It helps with the non-medical aspects that I can't necessarily do much about as a GP. So if we think about people's ability to exercise, their diet, it can help with weight loss, reduce social isolation, it can help with debt, welfare advice, connect them into community groups, help with volunteering. So there's lots of positive benefits that I've seen from patients of my own who've gone through the programme.
It's just so easy to make the referral in, and then we've had people from Wellbeing Matters come and talk to us to just remind us about how things work and what sorts of things they deal with and what's successful.
I've been here for nearly a year now working as a GP, and in that time I think I've increasingly started to work out what a valuable kind of resource it can be. Started referring more and more patients there and often getting really good feedback back from the kind of whole host of options and resources that are available to patients.
It's a neighbourhood approach, and our community connect to support individuals, connect to local activities, services and support that is available to them.
We would have an introductory call with the client, and we would then work with them to identify and establish goals that are specific to the issues that they've been referred for in order to improve their well-being.
We focus on what matters to each person and tailor our support offers around them. There's no one size fits all.
Actually, for someone to take the time to listen to them, to come up with a plan of action as to how to improve their general well-being and to take a real interest in their well-being, I think that's what makes a difference.
I think social prescribers now are very much an essential part of the primary care team. I think it has been a successful programme, and that's why in Eccles and Earlham we continue to invest in our wellbeing connectors, because we recognise the importance of them.
I might have some patients that I see quite frequently, and actually after referral I find that there's a bit of a gap where I start to think, I haven't heard from them for a while, is everything okay with them? But obviously it is, and things are going well.
I think it's just about bridging that gap between the GP and primary care and then the rest of the community. I think it's so important that there's someone who is kind of conducting, if you like, the all these services and has the finger of the pulse of what's where. And I think it can be quite hard as a GP to know what those resources are. It's constantly changing. So I think the social prescribers just bridge that gap in such an important way. Feels like we have more in our arsenal as GPs that we can give for our patients, and that's only a good thing.
We can make referrals into community activities, services and support. We can attend groups and services with individuals, and we most importantly follow up.
John is going through so many challenges, and I think John is such a good example of someone who aspires to live each day to its fullest.
I had cancer, and as a result of that I went through a lot of treatment, and when I came out the other side I was quite physically damaged, which meant that I couldn't work. I had a great sense of loss. I felt that I needed to give something back.
So John was really keen during our first conversation to find his purpose again in life. So there were various opportunities that we discussed, and volunteering was one of them, and he was really keen to put his skills to use that he had in the corporate world just to see if he could help other people. So we did discuss referring to Salford CVS, and we were specifically looking at the Elevate programme, which he now volunteers on.
We have a dedicated offer that supports residents to volunteer, which in turn supports our community groups and organisations.
He was referred through to us on the Wellbeing Matters programme, and John was interested in doing some voluntary work. So I met with John, we had a really good conversation and we threw some ideas around. So I connected John through to the Langworthy Cornerstone, and Ian is the volunteer coordinator there.
It's very welcoming, very open here, very supportive.
John's my right-hand man, actually, because John is my volunteer lead. John's been an absolute pain. I mean, John's been an absolute star.
No, you were right the first time.
with the Job Cafe, kickstarting the Job Cafe, you know, yeah, you've been an absolute star, John.
Every time I see John, and I'll go along to like an Elevate session, it's just great to see him with a big smile on his face doing what he is good at, and that makes me feel that I've done a good job.
In our neighbourhoods, we have a team of development workers who empower, support organisations and community groups to grow and stay sustainable in our communities.
My role focuses on working with groups, so visiting groups, helping to develop them, and just supporting them really with anything that they might need in order to be a safe referral partner for the people that come through our programme. So developing them, making sure that the quality assurance is there, so that could be building a referral pathway, implementing referral forms, building policies and procedures, and just anything that's going to make them a really strong, safe and like welcoming pair of hands.
Yeah, we met a lot with Emma through emails, face-to-face, you know, over the phone. Great support. Wellbeing Matters has made a lot of difference, even though we used to do the wellbeing session, but going through this project specifically gave us a space, because before that we were running our activity from different places, many different places, no stability. It was very inconsistent. This is a place where we can offer one-to-one support, because we went through the migrant refugee Wellbeing Matters. So in that we chose to kind of run group activities, but also befriending, like one-to-one support, where we can really be there for people, like be there listening here to people. Massive difference.
Community connectors, I think they're so important within the communities of Salford, because they give encouragement, and not just that, they just give a little bit of time each week to people that wouldn't normally get that.
Yeah. I think from the patients I've referred in, often months down the line, I think they're often in a much better place, and I know that's in no small part thanks to being more involved in their community.
Connection changes everything, and together we're building a healthier, happier Salford, one conversation at a time.